Hello, 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 everybody. It's me, Kadijah, and I am here with the Latrinity Eubanks from I1. We are excited about this presentation today. We are talking about suicide awareness. So, we are having a courageous conversation on breaking the silence on suicide. She is from the I1 movement, and I'm a part of Survivor Speaks. And so we are hosting this courageous conversation just to shed light on suicide awareness within our community. So the topic again is going to be on suicide, and we're going to jump into this interview with LaTrinity. So LaTrinity, tell us about your business.
So, Awan is a luxury streetwear clothing brand that promotes and brings light to mental health awareness and suicide prevention, encouraging anyone who is going through a mental health battle to speak out because it is people out here that care about what it is you are going through and what you're facing. Another thing is Awan allows you to celebrate your victory you have overcome with your mental health battle in a fashionable way without having to go really into depth or detail what it is you actually beat. And if you haven't been through a mental health battle or anything, you can just wear it to just show people that you support the people that do go through those type of things and mental health battles and such things in that nature.
Okay, I love it. When I first met LaTrinity, I actually found her on Facebook, you guys. I know, right? Met her on Facebook, and I was like, I really want to do something with someone within our group, within our community, based off of suicide prevention and awareness. And she happened to reach out, and I was like, okay. And so when she dropped her name of her brand, I said, that's it. Yeah, I want her. I
Thank
want to work with her. I love it. I love the brand. I really love the brand and the way that
you.
listen, when y'all see her website, y'all gonna like it. Y'all when y'all see the content that's on there,
Yes,
the
it's dope.
all of that. Listen, she got one on right now. It is dope, you guys. I promise you. So what inspired you to create I One?
Honestly, I would say God, I give all the praise and glory to him because he's the one who actually brought the idea to my head. I was in math class one day and the idea I had just came from therapy actually. And the idea just came about in my head. So I wrote it down, wasn't really thinking nothing of it. But at the time I was very forgetful. But with that being said, I never forgot that idea. It was always on my mind. So I was like, okay, maybe this is God telling me something. So I looked into it and now I'm here.
I love it. I love it. So this is more of, shedding light. Again, this is she's a Christian, entrepreneur. And she brought this brand off of, what God gave her, honestly. Like sometimes we get into entrepreneurship and we forget, that God be making ways out of no ways. And sometimes he drops those visions to us. Um,
Yes.
how have you been affected by suicide?
Personally, I never had anyone commit suicide in my family or close to me. However, I was kind of affected by suicide in a way. I was suicidal at times. I actually tried to commit suicide. I tried to commit suicide 3 times actually. One time in ninth grade, one time my freshman year in college, and earlier this year when my grandmother passed, her death really took a huge toll on me because she played a major part in my life. And since it was so unexpected, that kind of pushed me overboard. And I never really understood the saying, you never know what you have until it's gone. But when that happened, I definitely understood that saying way better.
I totally agree, especially losing special people in our lives. I know personally, I lost my grandmother in 2019, so I definitely understand. Especially when you have a close bond or relationship with that person and then they leave, unexpectedly. You're like, wait a minute, you weren't sick, you weren't anything, you're gone. So most definitely, um, suicidal thoughts are very real, especially when it comes to stuff like that, like especially in grieving moments. Like it's yeah, I understand. Um, what would you say to someone struggling with suicidal thoughts?
get into therapy like as soon as possible. I know, I'm not even gonna say I know, but some of us feel like talking to someone won't help or they won't understand. But in reality, therapy, it helps you get everything that you're going through off your chest. And therapy has allowed me to become the best version of myself that I am today. Getting into therapy actually helped me see that I was thinking about therapy the wrong way all along. I just had to change my perspective of it. That's all.
I love that. Changing the perspective of how you look at therapy. Because normally within our community, it comes with whatever happened at home, stay at home.
Mhm.
That has been the mental or the saying that has been placed in our households for years and years and years to come, backdating all the way, probably past our great, great, great grandparents.
I completely
Um,
agree.
and I'm just, therapy is a beautiful thing. Therapy helps enlighten and shine light in areas that is full of darkness, that is full of pain, that is full of trauma. And so many people frown upon therapy, but therapy is a place where you can be authentically yourself without having that person know who you are, to judge who you are,
Yeah,
to judge your situation, because you're almost in a sense talking to a complete stranger. They can't judge you because they don't know you.
exactly.
And they're paid to deal with your issue at this point. They're paid. So, I mean, if we look at it that way, they're paid to listen to what you got going on. But they're there as well to help you to navigate. Because life is hard. We go through difficult situations and we don't know how to handle them, or learn. We didn't learn the proper um, tools that we needed in our younger selves, our younger lives, to be able to adapt to that particular trauma or that incident, to be able to um, get past it. And we find ways through drinking, through, if you smoke, you smoke. If you decide that suicide is the route that you want to go, through those different avenues. Um, what are some signs that you saw in someone that is struggling with suicide, or even personally within yourself? What were some signs that made you say, look, I'm struggling with this and I probably need to go and see someone about this?
Well, I would like to say this first off, starting off. Most people who are suicidal, going through depression or anything in that nature, they're the happiest people walking around. You would not be able to tell that they're actually going through rough times. They still walk around with the smile on their face, the life of the party, making jokes, going through life normally, but you would never know. And I say that because I was actually that person as well. I was still always laughing. I was going through practice the way I was supposed to attend a class. Like you wouldn't be able to tell something was wrong with me, but the whole time I wanted to be dead. But you would never know. But some signs I would say is if a person becomes isolated, and that's not necessarily their personality. If someone begins to partake in excessive activities that they don't normally do, such as partying, drinking, smoking, then you should ask, is there something wrong? Because more than likely it is.
I agree. And that's the thing, many people have not noticed. They think that it's the person that's balled up in a ball crying and they're just over life. It's not. It's regular people like you and me, that walk around and we're smiling and we're laughing and we're giggling, and we're the normal people. It's the normal people that you don't ever notice. Now, personally, I have had many friends, many great friends throughout my life that has actually um, committed suicide, and it was very hard to process that, to understand. You were just smiling and laughing yesterday, we were just having a good time, and by 12 midnight you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you've left us a note stating that you just have been in this much pain and turmoil this whole time. And it really did something to me, which actually brought me to kind of getting into advocacy for suicide prevention, because they were normal people. They basketball players. They're doing band, they're doing, everything. They're working, they got the six-figure job, they got everything that people are like, oh, I'm so grateful that, and I want that. They're like, I don't want this life. I,
Yeah.
I would trade it for, I would trade it for something else than what I have now. And it's normal people, and many people don't see that. It's the strong friends that people don't look at. It's the ones
Yes,
that,
that's the
yeah,
thing. You have to
it's the
check on
strong
your
friends.
strong friends.
Yeah, it's like you have to check on them, because if you don't check on them,
One day
there's
you
some
gonna wish
questions
you
that
did.
there are some questions that have to be had whenever it's your
Yeah.
strong friends, because you just be like, so nothing in your life ever goes wrong. Nothing. You didn't get a flat tire today. You were inside.
Right.
Nothing. That's just how you look at it, because you're like, there's strong people, and people think that the strongest people are like that strong where they don't need anybody, and that's not true. Everybody needs that one person, even if it's just one person, even if it's a group of people, but that one person to understand who they are. That is one thing that would help. um let's see, why do you think some people consider suicide? What reasons do you think that they would try to commit suicide?
They feel alone. They don't have anyone to talk to, no one that loves them or care about them. And really trauma as well. Trauma can play a huge factor in this, and allowing their negative thoughts to consume their mind, and they don't know how to uh, change their perspective of their negative thoughts into positive ones. So they allow the negative thoughts to be all bad and go on for a while, a long time. And at some point, you get tired of waking up and dealing with negative thoughts on a consistent basis. So once that take over, it's very hard to come out of that state. So they feel like death is the only way out, because once you're dead, you no longer have to think.
That's the absolute truth. And that's great that you said that, because I've had people that I've talked to that have experienced um, suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies. That's the same thing that they thought about. It was just like, nobody was there, nobody hurt me. Um, can you even see me? Which brings me to a video that I saw on YouTube not too long ago. One of my friends actually posted. It was about a girl. She was a singer, and she was the life of the party. She was a strong girl. She was making music. She was making money. She should have been the happiest, as they see, like the happiest person in the world. Like she had everything that she wanted, the car, the house, you know. And she kept asking, well, do you see me? And they kept saying, what do you mean, do you see me? She said, nobody can see me. Nobody can see that I'm going through hell. Nobody can see that I'm going through torture and turmoil, that I just want to leave. That's how she was looking at it. That's how she viewed it. It didn't matter how much money that she had. It didn't matter where she was and where she was at in her life. She still did not feel like she was seen. She felt like she was in this world alone, and that suicide was that way out for her. It wasn't until she was off, just about off the edge, and she almost fell. That's when someone realized who she was. They can actually see that she was going through. And that was a really, really good show, or I think it was like a video or a movie. It was a part of a movie, I think. Someone had captured that portion of it, and it was Do You See Me? Um,
That's deep.
why do you think that the African American community struggle with talking about mental illness and thoughts of suicide?
It's not really taken seriously as it should be, and people just like brush it off. But then they don't want to seem weak, or they don't want to be looked at in a negative way. And another big thing is they don't want people in their business, so they tend to try to just keep it in the household, or try to ignore it and expect it to just go away when it's not. And in the African American community, therapy to them is, they don't know what they're talking about, because they don't know me. They don't know what I go through on a daily basis. But as I said before, once you change your perspective about therapy, then you will see that therapy is there to actually help you and not harm you.
I love that. I agree. Absolutely, I do agree. Because in the African American household, I've seen this plenty of times. Um, disclaimer, this is not about my household or anybody else's household that I know, just in case they watch it thinking I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm just saying in general that I've seen it where children will come to their parents and tell their parents that, hey, I feel like I'm depressed. I feel like, I don't want to be here or whatever it may be. And the parents start firing off at the mouth with,
Mhm.
well, you got a house, you have, a place to stay, you got clothes on your back, you got food. Okay, those are the necessities. You have to provide those
Yeah,
when you
definitely
have
a
children, you have to provide those.
home.
Something that you got to do. You
Yeah,
cannot tell me I got a house and some clothes and some food, and it's your responsibility to give that to me. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Um, but then whenever you're opening up about how you feel, and it's just like, I don't know why you feel like that, because that's not how that was meant to be taken. Or go to press them dishes or what, like the stuff that
yeah,
we be saying to people, you be like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be telling them to go to press them dishes. They're saying that press, talk to your child. That's just simply how I am. And
yeah.
that's some of the stuff that we be saying in general, and you be like, why you told that person to go to press them dishes? They're depressed. Go talk to them and see what's wrong with them. Ask them how is their day. Ask them, well, why do you feel like that? Because maybe that will open the door for them to be able to talk to you and share what is really going on. Because again, if they cannot trust you, if they cannot feel comfortable with you, they're not going to share that aspect of their life with you. So at the end of the day, you can end up losing a person because you feel like, well, you have no reason to be depressed, but you don't know what they're going through. It could be something going on at home. It could be something in a relationship. It could be, something going on at school, practice, whatever it may be, that they're just not comfortable talking with until they interact with a person that is going to listen to them and understand what they're saying.
Exactly, and that's another big thing as well. People don't really take in what they're saying to someone who's like dealing with suicidal thoughts or depressed and things like that. And it really matters what you say to a person, especially when they come out and tell you they're depressed. Because
Right.
if you say the wrong thing, that small thing or that thing can actually push them over the edge. So
Right.
you never know. You have to be very careful with what you say.
I got you. Which lead me into, what is your response if someone comes to you regarding suicidal thoughts?
A couple of my responses would be, "How can I help? I'm here for you. I'm your listening ear without no judgment. Just let me know what's wrong. If you want me to come over, no matter the time, the day, just call me. You matter in this world and you matter to me and you are very important."
Yes. And those are important statements to use because people want to be heard. They don't want to be judged, especially whatever the situation may be that has them in that spot and how they feel. They don't want to be judged or criticized or, well, let me tell you what you should do. You be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Calm down. Calm down. I just need to vent for a second. Let me,
Right.
hey, that's all that I need from you. And sometimes it's just simple. They just want to be heard. Your
Yeah,
friends, that person, they want to be heard. They want to be heard without any stipulations like, oh, if I talk to you, you're gonna go tell the whole group, you're gonna put me in the group chat, you're gonna tell my friends, you're gonna tell
mhm,
my parents. Some people, they just want to be heard without feeling like their business is going to be all over the internet. And in this age, everything is on the internet. Um,
yes,
everything is on the internet. You be like, that should not have went on the internet. Who put that on there, and why did they think that was acceptable to
exactly.
go on the internet today? So most definitely, those are some good statements to use when it comes to talking to people that are having suicidal thoughts or even with a mental illness, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. You know, it's it's simple. That's what they, 9 times out of 10, is wanting for someone to hear them and to understand them and to be able to relate to them. Why do you think that some people hide their mental health issues?
They don't want to be judged. I feel like that's the main thing. Um, Another thing is they don't want to be a rain on someone else's parade, so they rather just get through it alone. I know I was that way. Like I didn't want to bother anyone, or I didn't want to like bring my problems to anyone. So I went to class, I went to basketball practice. After that, I locked myself in my room and I didn't come out till the next day unless I was hungry or something. But I didn't really speak to anyone because I just didn't want to be a bother. And another thing is, it's crazy because I actually had a coach to tell me, because I actually went in the hospital 3 days in a row. And my coach told me, you don't need to keep going to the hospital because these people are going to start looking at you crazy and start judging you, and you don't want that to mess up anything in your life in the long run, or you don't want people to start talking about you around the school. And I'm like, I don't care what other people got to say about that. Like I'm actually going through something right now.
Right. And that's the thing. People kind of get that thought of people are gonna look at you weird,
Mhm.
they're gonna look at you crazy, psychotic, as they put it, like, "Oh, you're psychotic," and you're like, "No, I'm not psychotic."
Right.
Going to therapy does not make you psychotic. Taking any form of a medication does not make you psychotic, psycho, whatever they want to call you. If you're trying to get help, you gotta get it by any means necessary. You
Yes.
feel me? Like it don't matter if you gotta go into the hospital 10, 20 times back to back. That's you and your business as long as you're getting the help that you desire and that you need. And many people don't see that. It's just like, oh, they're gonna talk about you. And at the end of the day, we're gonna get talked about regardless. When we die, somebody's gonna be in the funeral talking about who did this obituary.
Yep.
End of the day. Do we not? Do you not have one
You're
person
right.
that you know that's sitting there and be like, I wonder who did this obituary?
Hey, you're 100% right.
It's always when you die, you sitting there and they still talk about you and you're gone. So at
Yes.
the end of the day, how we look at it is people are going to talk about you regardless of what situation, when you're good, when you're bad, they're going to still talk about you. And it's crazy because I noticed that that's a big thing. That people kind of shy away from getting the help that they need because they don't want to um, feel as if people are going to talk about them. I am personally, and this is me personally speaking on my own self. I personally, I have a trouble with asking people for help. That's help with anything. Like, can you help me? Find a car. Can you help me do my homework? I have a problem with people asking people to help me with things. Only not because I think you're going to talk about me, but because I personally feel like I can be a burden to some people.
Right.
And that's like, I'm like, no, that's not how we're going to do it. So, of course, I had to change my perspective on how life is because it's okay to ask for help. That's help with anything. Can you help me lift this box? Can you help me by going to counseling with me or whatever it may be? It's okay to ask for help. And it doesn't matter how people see you as long as you're getting the help that you actually need. And if it's not working, then you find another avenue that is going to help for what you're needing in that moment. Um, let's see. What are some great resources that you can provide to anyone struggling with suicide and other mental health issues?
I would say, and I know I keep saying this, but I would say therapy. Like therapy plays a huge part in this. Like therapy will allow you to actually see the brighter side of things. And once you release the things that you're bottling in, you will feel so much better. But another thing is I would recommend is if you don't believe in God or religion or anything, that's perfectly okay. But I also do suggest praying. Praying and therapy is what actually made me the person who I am today. I will also say journaling and speaking positive and life into yourself as well. Do affirmations, say affirmations every morning. Like those things make a huge difference. Even though they may seem small, they're not. Because once you're just being negative all the time in your mind, you're gonna have to say something positive to yourself to uplift yourself.
That's absolutely true. Positivity is the way to go. When there's so much negativity happening.
Yes, and I say it's also a app I would recommend called I Am, and it helps you on a daily. It speaks positive things. It helps you speak affirmations to yourself every single day. So I definitely would recommend that app as well. It's just I space AM.
I love that because I looked into that app not too long ago because I was like, I really like positive affirmations. So I looked into I am, and there's another good one out there, you guys. It's called Motivation. It's the Motivation app, and they give you like you know, a little they give you anything that you want. So if you want leadership, if you want stuff related to trauma, life, all of that, it kind of breaks it down, and then you can choose. And then you can see how frequent that you want to have these affirmations. So if you want to set it for 12 times a day, it will send you 12 times throughout the day, those type of motivation, um, positive affirmations that you need as well, with I am. So what advice would you give someone that is supporting someone that is struggling with suicide thoughts?
Be calm and be patient. Like be as patient as possible. And even though you don't understand what they're going through, try to understand what they're going through, because you could literally be all they have left or what's keeping them here to fight to see another day. And with your support, it literally can like take them a long way on the good side, which means keeping them here on this earth.
Absolutely. um, the support matters. It matters
It
to
does.
that person. Having somebody support is actually something that actually helps them in the long run, knowing that there's somebody there that's going to listen and be kind and be patient, um, and just isn't just going off. You'd be like, wait a minute. 'Cause some people just be going off. You'd be like, hold on, we cannot be going like this. So most definitely, um, survivors and people that are dealing with this have to have that support. So where can we connect with you, Trinity?
So on all platforms, my tag is at shop I one. My email is www.latrinity, LTRINITY at shopI1.net. And my personal Facebook is Latrinity Eubanks. And if you're ever going through anything or need to talk, my inbox is always open to anyone, no matter the time or day. I definitely will respond to you as soon as I see it.
Most definitely. And we definitely want to make sure that, if you're going through this, that you, are very vocal about it, that you talk with, someone that you trust. It don't have to be your parents, it don't have to be your closest friends, but someone that you know that is going to listen. There are some resources that are available for you guys. So we do have the 24/7 crisis hotline. All you have to do is text 988, or you can chat with them on 988lifelines.org. If you're a veteran, that, website and that texting app is available to you. If you're calling, just press 1. I will be dropping these actual resources within, my page and as well on this live with Latrinity's, shop information as well, so you can check out her brand. There is the crisis text line, so you can text talk to or 741 to text with a trained, counselor from the crisis text line, and it's for free. It's 24/7, so you don't have to worry about, it's going to charge me, I have to pay for this. You can legit talk to people for free by just simply texting them, and there's someone available that has been trained to talk to you and to help you during your crisis. There is a veteran crisis text line. With me being in the military, that is something very important that I recommend, is the crisis, text line, which is 838-255. There's Vets for Warriors. The RAIN, National Sexual Assault Hotline, for anyone that has, trauma that's happening and you want to talk to them as well. National Teen Dating Abuse, Helpline, and then the Trevor Project. You can also talk to a primary care physician, your local psychiatric hospital, a local walk-in clinic, a local emergency department, and a local urgent care center. If you feel like you really just need help on that end there as far as medical side, medical attention. So outside of that, that is our interview for today with Trinity, and it's been a pleasure working with her. I do plan on partnering with her again in the future because I do love her brand, and who she is as a person. If you do not catch her Facebook page, I actually am friends with her on Facebook. She drops a lot of positive content on her page that is used to help everybody. It can help you during tough times and the rough times, it has everything. Like she got threads on there. It's everything. Like her whole page is positive. So if you need a positive outlet to just connect to someone to help uplift your spirits, please connect with her and the I1 movement because they are out here doing the thing. Again, her brand is amazing. You want to check it out. You want to get you a shirt. You want if it's a shirt, if it's a hoodie, a hat, if there's a hat on there, y'all want to support. Y'all really want to support because this is a different type of brand. This is a different type of brand that I've seen in a while, and I've been waiting on someone to actually come out with this brand only because there are people that are not creating brands like this. It's a
Yes.
different type of brand. Everybody has a clothing brand, but you don't have a brand that focuses on this aspect here about winning. Yes, we got a shirt that says I won, I did this, I did. It's a whole different type of ballpark. It has a whole different meaning to it. So just to support, make sure you get you a shirt, a hoodie, whatever it is on the site that you like. Get a picture in it, send it to her, rock it. She might got a hashtag somewhere on that website to tell you to use, but you want to rock it out. You want to rock the brand out. I got to go on the site because I saw it and I said, I got to get one and wear it and rock it. And I'm taking a picture in it and everything,
I know
period.
that's right.
And we are just so thankful for her and her life and experience, sharing that information with us, sharing that part of her life with us. If you are being affected, trauma related triggers, we do ask that you take any type of self care and precaution. We hope that this interview has touched you in some type of way. We will be doing some other stuff throughout the month for Suicide Prevention Month. So just stay tuned, check out the comments. We will have her link in there, her social media pages and stuff in there so that you're able to connect with her. Outside of that, y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.